Welcome to Kmadai Animate. My channel will share knowledge on 2D/3D design. In order to get more videos for Blender tutorials and tricks on how to quickly generate 3D model, please subscribe, like, and share my channel. Today, my channel will tutorial on the complete basics of the Blender. Blender is a comprehensive open source for 3D and 2D software for architecture, designers, learners, audio, and video practitioner. You could download by free on www.blender.org. When open, it will show the image version dialog, with the option item program. The version of the program above dialog, which you could see on below menu bar on the right hand side. Click on the general for new working, or click inside the window, it will open the default cube, but if you open the existing file, just select the name on the left side, and click to open. By default, the Blender will place 3 objects compound are cube, camera, and light, but don't be afraid of all these objects disappearing, we could add all these objects again. The light and camera are only for rendering the final output that is last modified. Add object by clicking Command-Shift+A, we could add camera and light, those are useful for final using rendering object. And could add object mesh like a plan, cube, cylinder, circle, UV sphere, etc. to create and modify the surface. To scale up or down could use the Command S and move, Command G. On the left side menu bar, there are tools such as the Move tool, Scale tool, and Rotate tool. But for a quick modification should use a shortcut command that is commonly used in a Blender. And there are 3 axes, X, Y, and Z for orientation direction. For example, using the Move tool, Rotate tool, or Scale tool alongside direction you want, you could on the tool you want to use and click the arrow to track it along axis X, Y, or Z that you want. Go to Edit menu and go to Preferences and select Add-ons. In Search, you type kind add-ons that you already download or install the new one from the website. The add-on is the extension in the Blender, it makes more Blender flexibility ability in many functions in 3D design. Now many development and script are free, you could download and install them for modification, simulation, modeling, and so on. Here, I will add the Blender GIS add-ons that I already download, it is free and we could use GIS modeling look like in the GIS software. Check the box in front of add-ons, for functioning add-ons, then, and go to Save and Load button, at the lower left corner, then exit. Here you see the Blender Add GIS menu for pop up the functions some GIS like add shapefile or create 3D map. When you complete object modeling or creating design or animation, you need to render, for the last output, you produce. Then go to the render menu, and there are 2 render outputs, image and video animation. But before you render, you need to set the camera on the object, otherwise, it is rendered out of the object with the camera focus. Go View by using Command-N, then click on View, and check Lock Camera on the box before Camera to View. Type 0 for Camera View, and click the middle mouse for adjusting an object in the center. If not fit, click Shift and middle mouse to drag it inside the camera. Then go to Test the rendering by clicking Render and render the image. Blender renders an image of the object, but it could see well. This caused to object in solid viewport, not in the material viewport. You could go to the material viewport and go to the rendered image again, then it will see more clearly than before. In a Blender, we could create more windows, by our purpose of working. By default, it shows the layout window, as you see above, and below is the timeline. You could join one window by right-click on the horizontal line, and then a joint area. Don't be afraid of losing the window that you want. You could create one more window by holding the left mouse on the corner above left or right and then drag to the left or right side, and you will see more windows. About the viewport, you could see at the above right corner of the window. There are several tools, but there are mostly 3 tools more often used: solid viewport, material viewport, and rendering viewport. Material viewport and rendering viewport are important for rendering to see clear or look real. Collection content looks like the layer content in Photoshop or other graphic design. The inside content of the collection, there are camera, object and light, is the main feature of the Blender file. It could be grouped by collection and invisible by hiding viewport. Click I. And below of collection is the panel of modification tool, material tool, property tool, and rendering setting. This part is so very important in the Blender for a designer, architecture, or animator that needs you to get more developed expertise with physical, simulation, collision, rigid animation and object constraint, which is powerful in tracking animation characters. Rendering. Blender provides engine rendering as the most powerful rendering object. EEVE rendering is most affected on the material, rock, wood, and another hard surface object. The cycle is fit for rendering glass surface objects and water material. Output property. You could set the property output before render the object, the format 4K, or 1920 pixel x, 1080 pixel y. Set the destination for file storage, click on the browser, and file the location and name saving. And file format, click on the file format to roll down arrow. PNG for transparency background picture, and FFmpeg video for video rendering output. Setting the mouse for selection. Go to Edit menu and Preferences, then click on Key Map. Under Preferences pop-up, there are items of mouse set selection. Blender let you choose between left mouse selection or right selection. Both have advantages and disadvantages. Right mouse for selecting it is more useful for art drawing or architecture, and it is easy in the hard surface selection or modeling and setting 3D origin cursor view. In the meantime, left mouse click cannot, but if use left mouse it will not move 3D cursor by chance. To keep it functioning, after you are completing the setting, go Save and Load button on left below the corner, and click and save preferences. 3D perspective view on the object. You could the numpad keyboard for view, 1 for view in front, 3 for the view from the right side, and 7 for view from above. But opposite that view, just use commands Ctrl plus numpad, like Ctrl plus 1 for back view, Ctrl plus 3 for left view, and Ctrl plus 7 for bottom view. But maybe you click on numpad 5, and the Blender will show an orthographic view that looks like a 2D view. You could back to the tool perspective view by clicking on the rights tool above or numpad 5 again. Now my tutorial come to the end. Thank for the follow-up from the beginning to the end. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, or you request more training on kmadai.studio@gmail.com.